Today we will see agency law, Ethiopian law of agency. As you see from this is a teaching material for Ethiopian university students. I'll show you how to score A plus on this course, and we will finish this material through a lot of videos. And to start with the first chapter 1, as you see from this slide, chapter 1 talks about concept of agency. The concept of agency, there are preliminary considerations like the definitions and why this law of agency is needed in our legal system. We will see this. And the next point we will see is genesis and development of law of agency. As the name implies, there is a development in law of agency. We will see this. And the next part is theories and development of law of agency under common law and under civil law. As you see, here is civil law legal system and here is common law legal system. So we will see all of this. And after that we will see also source of authority derived from contract, internal and external contract. There are two contracts, internal contract and external contract here in law of agency. And the next point is authority by judicial act and authority derived from the law, authority derived from contract, authority derived from judicial act, and authority derived from the law. There are three types of authorities, three sources of authorities. We will see them. And the next point is authority by virtue of contractual agency. Here we will see the common law approach and civil law approach. I will also show to you how exit exam is coming from this course. The Ethiopian approach also discussed in this law of agency. And in chapter 2 we will see agency by virtue of contract under Ethiopian law, introduction and the internal contract, the formation requirements. As law of contract, we will as we saw in law of contract, there are formation requirements in law of agency also. Offer and acceptance also here for the formation of contract of agency. By the way, there is a similarity in law of contract 1 and contract 2, as you learned from the past years, and here there is similarity. Information of contract of agency and information of contract out of agency. So after that we will also see scope of authority, and general and special parts. We will also see the general and the special authorities of an agent has authorities, principals, and has authorities, and third parties also have authorities. We will also see here its appearance, appearances, and modes of representation. There are also modes of representation, extent of contract or contract of representation also here. When we see extent of contract, there are formations. There are complete or actual authority, express actual authority, and implied actual authority. Actual authority is divided into two: express actual authority here and implied actual authority. Unauthorized agency and ratification also here. Unauthorized agency or agency of necessity. The other name of unauthorized agency is authorized agency of necessity, and the second one is ratification. We'll also third chapter, fourth chapter, the fifth, sixth, and extra chapters in next videos. To start with the first chapter, there is course introduction, and there is also chapter 1 concept of agency and preliminary considerations. We will see this. In the introduction part of every course, in the introduction part of every course, as you see here, there is a beginning or the beginning definition for the next chapters and for this first chapter. So we will see this one. To begin with here, one may not able to perform a given task oneself. As you can see here, one may not be able to perform a given task by oneself for several reasons. A space limitation, there may be a space limitation, there may be a time limitation, there may be an income or money limitation, or one may not be at different place at the same moment to perform a certain deed or a certain action or a certain job. If a task has to be carried out in his absence, if he is not here to perform that act without his involvement, if it is necessity to act that action, to perform that action without his involvement, there will be an agency. There are to be some other individual who can undertake a given task on his behalf or his behind. So simply, if you understand this paragraph, you will understand what law of agency is. Law of agency, as the name implies, it comes from the word agent. Agent means a person who can perform a given act for another person with substituting that person with his name. So this course is meant to assess agency of law into two broad categories, that is agency in non-commercial activities and agency in trade or commercial activities. This is the main point. So we will also see this. The second chapter deals with Ethiopian context. It is the first chapter talks about the introductory part of the law of agency, and the second chapter talks about contractual agency. Great emphasis for contractual agency, especially for formation of contractual agency. The chapter is also categorized into two major topics, that is internal contract and external contract. We will see this. What is internal contract, what is external contract, and the other part is the formation requirements. So for internal contract, the scope of authority and modes of representation are discussed. So agency relationship has its own effect on parties. Has its own effect means has its own consequences. There are consequences on agency relationships beyond establishing relationships between the principal agent and third party. Hence, the liabilities of agent, the principal and third party, and the liabilities that exist upon ratification of unauthorized act are discussed under this chapter. There are three parties in law of agency. The first is principal, the second is agent, and the third is third party. A third party is a person who discusses with the agent that is represented on behalf of the principal. That is the main point. The second part of this second chapter deals with agency in trade commerce. As we see here, commercial and non-commercial activities, the two broad categories that we will discuss in agency law. The second part is trade or commercial part. Hence, the concept of commission. If there is a commerce, there is commission. Agent and forwarding agent are discussed exhaustively or discussed detailedly. That is the point in detail. Lastly, the course deals with extinction of agency relationship. If there is a formation of agency, there is also extinction of agency. If agency is not no longer live, it is called extincted. So there is also agency extinction. It's also encapsulates summary questions and short hypothetical examples. There are also summary questions we will discuss in next chapters. So to begin with the first chapter, after reading this chapter, by the way, I will give you one advice here for law students. You should always know about the after reading this chapter concepts. This is the main point. This is the general part of this. This is the general part of every question. Every lecturer, if every lecturer uses this concept. After reading this chapter, students will be able to. The first part you will understand is define law of agency from different perspectives. You will define law of agency from different perspectives. The second part is analyze the problems in defining law of agency. You will also analyze the problems. What problems? What are the problems? What are the solutions for those problems? After define law of agency from different perspectives, you will also assess problems. And the third part is discuss rationale behind institution of law of agency. Why law of agency is formed, why law of agency is appropriate, or why law of agency is needed for our country. This is the main point. Appreciate the fourth one is appreciate the genesis and development of law of agency in common law and in civil law legal systems. As you know, there are two types of legal systems in the world: the common law or the civil law legal systems. The common law legal system incorporates the countries like British and USA, and the civil law legal system Germany and France and the like. So discuss the different theories. There are also theories in common law and in civil law legal systems. So we will also see here the main points. To begin with the definition, the law of agency in most cases defined as a relationship between two persons. It is the relationship between what? Two persons. The two persons are the agent and the third party. Where one means the agent part may act on behalf of another. The principal means a person who is the owner of that company, maybe the company or the income or the money. He may be investor or someone. So, and bind principal by words and actions. It represents the principal. The agent represents the principal. So it's also defined as relationship in which one person acts for or represents another by lateral authority. Lateral authority is law of agency. That is the main point. As a relationship of principal and agent, master and servant, employer, proprietor, and independent contractor. So there is relationships between principal and agent, master and servant. Master is who employs the servant, employer or proprietor, independent contractor. That is the main point. The law of agency could also be defined as judicial relation which results from manifestation of consent by one person to another, that one can act on behalf of the other for by his control and consent by the other so as to act. There is a will, there is a form, we'll see forms of agency contracts. Black's Law Dictionary of 1991 defines this concept by this way. So the next point we'll discuss is, before that, the exam may incorporate this concept. So the law of agency could also be defined as the judicial relation which results from manifestation of consent or interest of consent by one person. There must be a consent to another that two others shall act on behalf of subject of his control. His control. Who is controller? The principal is controller, and the agent is under control. That is the main point. There also be a consent to act on behalf of the principal. Paul McCarthy also has tried to partially capture assessed agency by saying the law of agency deals with ways in which one person, physical or juridical person, we'll say juridical person, how a juridical person can be an agent, can deal with the other person through the medium of intermediary. There is intermediary. Of course, one person may deal with another directly without any assistance. However, a person can perform only one thing and be in only one place at the same time. So, complexity of modern life will be reduced into simple life through agents. That is the main point. Mr. Karti also discussed about this through like this. And the other part is, in addition to the above, one writer, Mulugeta Mangist, he's an Ethiopian famous writer, in 2005 writes about agency. The concept of agency is recognized in all modern legal systems as an indispensable part. Indispensable part means it is not stoppable, or it is not removable or unavoidable part of existing social order. It fulfills the most diverse functions in public and private law of today. It performs diverse functions as it has a lot of advantages. In particular, it assists in organizing the division of labor in the national and international economy. Division of labor assists, it helps, or it assists, or it improves, or it helps in organizing the division of labor in national or international economy. By making it possible for principal to extend his individual sphere of activity by its aid spanning space and time, he is able to have one or more persons act for him on his behalf if necessary. The advantage of agency. So when you read these paragraphs, you will get the same or almost similar meanings of law of agency. It's just a representation on behalf of someone. For today, for the next day, we will see about why law of agency is needed. We will see here why law of agency is needed. We will also discuss about different concepts, especially why law of agency is needed, and there are reasons, as you see here. There are reasons why law of agency is needed, and there are almost four reasons that law of agency is needed, and there are also other notice on here. Law of agency under common law legal system, as you see here, and law of agency under civil law legal systems. We will also, in next video, we will see here. There are also questions that we will discuss in next video. Question is like, can you distinguish between theories of agency law under common law and civil law legal system? What is the difference between the two theories? Or what is the difference between common law legal system theories on law of agency and civil law legal system theories on law of agency, and explain genesis and development of agency representation under common law and civil law. How law of agency is coming from the beginning to here or to this time. We'll see this. And the third point is, what were the main impediments in development of agency representation under the civil law legal system. And the fourth point is, what were the principles on which the agency relationship in early common law was based. We will see also this, and the other points we will discuss in the next video is source of authority. What are the sources of authority of in law of agency there are external and internal authority. We will also this and we will finish our next video by studying these concepts. If you have any question, let me see them in comment section, and beyond asking questions you can put your own comments. See you for the next video. Bye.